was a leader that recently shared a story with me. There was a candidate that was interviewing for a marketing position in his department, and this candidate had a great interview. He gave great answers to the questions, and he even asked really good questions as well. When the leader was sharing with HR their impressions of this candidate, he said just that. He seemed great. But he followed up by saying he didn't think he wanted to hire this candidate because he was lying on the couch while interviewing, and I don't want to hire someone who doesn't take this position seriously. After digging deeper, it turns out this candidate just had back surgery and couldn't sit up for any length of time. You've heard these phrases before. Don't judge a book by its cover. There's more than meets the eye. It's only the surface. And as leaders, we know this, and yet we struggle to bring it to life, especially when faced with situations that don't match our backstories. True leadership has regard for other people in all situations. In our own lives, we recognize the variety of challenges that we find ourselves in. Maybe the reason that we were running late to work that day, or the reason that we were quiet in the last meeting. We see below our surface and extend ourselves some grace in those situations. But we don't necessarily take the time to look before the surface for everyone else and why they were running late or why they were quiet in the meeting and extend that same grace to them. At Living as a Leader, we have a model called Box of Life, and we call it that because it's a visual reminder that everyone comes from a different place or a different background. People's boxes are filled with all sorts of experiences that shape how they interpret real life situations. And those experiences and perceptions, they are very different from yours. And because of that, they look at the world and they view the world differently than you do. The Box of Life is a great reminder that helps us to stay curious because we know there are things that we don't know. And now don't get me wrong, this is not to absolve people of their accountability. This is about understanding and entering conversations with less judgment and criticism and being open to what's going on for the other person. So leader, you have an opportunity to do better. The next time you find yourself judging a person or a situation based on your own perspective or the story that you're telling yourself, go below the surface. Remember Box of Life and ask yourself, what don't I know? Then be curious and ask questions like, what happened? Or tell me more about that. Or what can you share about the situation? And even, how can I support you? You may just be surprised what you learn. And remember, there's always more than meets the eye. See you next time.